If you're Calgary right now, you should be thinking this is our division to lose.
If I'm Calgary, I'm thinking we got Toffoli. Let's do a couple other little things. Like one that's a slam dunk is get Gio back. Get Gio back in the back end. Bring him back. Fans would love it. He'd be a great addition. Be welcome back. And then just get another forward or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it would be awesome.
What an ovation that would be. That really would be incredible if it's a packed house and Gio comes back. Because he spent, 15 years in Calgary, was the captain for 10.
I think it would be awesome. And you don't make transactions like that for fanfare or whatever. But you want to add a guy to play defense,
If it's a fit, it's a fit.
Yeah, and not like a frontline position. He's going to be a depth guy on that team right now.
It's an interesting proposition because Calgary, they've won 8 in a row, and they're 3 points up on Vegas, top of the Pacific.
They're clubbing teams, too.
Yeah, and they got games in hand. Oh, they're putting up big numbers. Here's our TSN hockey insider, Pierre LeBrun. Is that worthy of putting two and two together there, Pierre? The idea of maybe Mark Giordano being on the radar out in Calgary?
It's possible. First of all, as a guy who has Jacob Markstrom in his NHL Media Hacks Fantasy League, I'm quite happy with the Calgary Flames' success this year. Lots of shout-outs there from Mr. Markstrom.
As you should.
But no one cares about my fantasy team.
How do you have time for that, by the way? Like, you're so busy. How do you have time? Hayes, too. For a fantasy league. It's so stupid.
Here's the thing I would say, O-Dog, is that it's my job to watch a ton of hockey and talk to people about hockey all day long anyway. I might as well get some side fun out of it, which is when you're making decisions on your fantasy team, you're doing with the knowledge that you're carrying from what you do as a living anyway. So it's you're kind of overlapping efforts there in a way. But yeah, I mean, listen, I think that from the moment Mark Giordano went to Seattle, literally from the moment, I think a lot of us felt, well, he's UFA in a year. Wouldn't it be something if he actually just came back to Calgary? And I would say it's not out of the question. Now, we know from our reporting earlier this week that I'm sure you guys saw. I mean, Ben Sherratt was part of the original Tyler Toffoli deal to Calgary, or at least part of the original talks. And he didn't end up being included in that deal. But as I like to say, learn from what you know. That tells you that that's a part that if Calgary can have, they would on the back end. So, to me, it'd be such an amazing story to bring Mark Giordano back. And I know when I heard from a source in Seattle last week that Ron Francis was going to very soon sit down with Mark Giordano and get his pulse about what he wants to do, right? I mean, you can't treat Mark Giordano just like any other pending UFA. The guy made a commitment to you, in the expansion draft to be your captain in an inaugural season. So it's not just, hey, let's just flip you out like anyone else. I think he will get dealt, but I think there's a delicate nature to it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, understandably so. And Calgary, they're in a really good spot. Obviously, they've won 8 in a row. Markstrom's been great. Daryl Sutter has got them playing a kind of big, heavy, confident style. Mm-hmm. And that's a division that I thought Vegas would win, but now I'm not so certain, nor should I think anyone. You're talking 35 games left. We're well into the second half, and Calgary's in a really good spot. So they should feel good about where they're going.
I'm with you, Brian. I thought Vegas was going to run away with that division because I think it's the weakest division in the league. But I will say this to the Golden Knights' defense, and I'm not trying to bring out the violin because every team's dealing with this, but last I checked, Vegas was second in the NHL only to Montreal for man games lost to injury this year. So they have not played with their roster all year long, and of course they won't for quite a while with Mark Stone and LTIR. So there is that I think you have to point out for Vegas, but still, the Flames are an extraordinary story. I mean, let's be honest. If you go back and look at the narrative in the season predictions about the Flames, I don't know if there's a team that was more polarizing among people that really follow the game about what they felt about the Flames. It was all over the map. Playoff team, they're going to miss. Time to blow it up. This is the year they figure it out. Like I've never seen a team confuse people more than Calgary before the season started. And I get it, they felt like the stuck in the mud team with that core. But I'll tell you, Daryl Sutter having a full training camp and getting his system down. I mean, I don't think we talk about this enough. I mean, you guys probably do, but Daryl Sutter's career winning percentage as a coach is ridiculous. Like I know that players eventually, I think, have enough or whatever, but all the guy does is win wherever he goes when he's a coach.